Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Lone Wolf Challenge. In the last episode, we invited yet another terp snout creature into our tribe, but just like all of our other creatures, or most of them at least, she's wearing those beautiful spots that Takir seems to love so much. She adds a little splash of color to our tribe too, because many of them right now are blending in with the scenery, but she is as bright as a little bubblegum princess. So I think our tribe is really going to enjoy her presence, especially those who are a bit more artistically inclined. Right now, she does need to move out of the way though, because we're going to have a baby between Anaresi and Tavan. They're both on their final days, and I do want to see Tavan have at least one baby. He's carrying some genes that would be very useful to our tribe, especially when it comes to food collecting. So let's see if we can have him breed with her. We've already set up their mutation menus, and I really want to see some different patterns on their babies too. Hopefully Takir will be a little bit more creative than just using the spots. So if we move Ramiko over this way, back into the tide pools, we should be able to have Anaresi build her old nest again. I think we set her up right here before. I know for sure it was right next to the berry bushes, so since she has 2 more turns to use, we could scoot her right here and build her nest too. Then we could have Tavan go ahead and pick the berries for her, and I suppose Kimmy Lynn is going to have to stay very close as well. She's actually going to have to take care of this new baby, basically raise it as her own, so we'll have her stand guard right on top of the hill so nothing dangerous will come near. I don't think we have any more dangers to worry about right now. In fact, everything seems pretty quiet on the island again, ever since we took care of all of those berryinas over by the healing fruit. They know to stay away from our tribe now. Or I guess more appropriately, they know to stay away from Hare, because he's the strongest creature in our tribe, and he's trying to prove it to his younger brother. So if we can find some more bunnies for him to go chasing after, and it looks like there are some little morsels by the shore, I think that would probably be the best use of his time. We'll have him scoot right here. I wonder if maybe he should stay in the darkness. There is so many berry bushes around here, this would be a pretty good place for you to set up and wait for the little bunnies to come skittering into your trap. He feels it's his duty, now more than ever, to protect those berry bushes, because that's what started this argument between him and Kaz. So as Kaz goes ahead and grabs his extra berries for a little bit more paint, not his favorite type of course, but he could still use it in his experiments. I wonder what he would think if he sees our bubblegum princess splashing around in the waves. Do you think maybe a little bit woozy from all of those poison berries, he would see her as some sort of a mythical creature? I mean, she is awfully bright and colorful, so maybe he would jump down into the water too, and try to guide her to the safety of the shores. He'd probably put up quite a fuss too, as if he can't bear to see such a beautiful creature get injured. And I'm sure that would remind him of somebody else from his family too. Fawn is known for fussing over her children, especially Kaz, now that she knows he's been causing so much trouble for himself with the poison berries. So I think these two probably have a bit more in common than they realize. Maybe Odin would also notice the fuss. We did discover in the previous episode that he is actually quite compatible with her, so they might be able to have some healthy babies. So let's bring him right over to the cliff sides as well, as the bunnies sneak up on the berry bushes again. Thankfully there's nothing that they can steal in this direction, but I think Hare is probably going to get pretty impatient. There's only so much waiting around he can do, and of course, as always, that impatience is going to be his downfall, because now he doesn't have enough energy to actually scoop up that bunny that's teasing him on the shores. The poor guy just can't seem to catch a break, but I am hoping that he'll discover somebody out in the darkness, just like Aqualoo and our wild mushroom. Now they have discovered a pretty excellent place out here, full of all sorts of foods, all sorts of paints as well. So for a tribe that follows Takira's ways, they basically have it made out here. The only problem is they don't really have anybody to share it with, aside from each other of course. So I'm hoping that maybe they'll discover whoever built this permanent nest. Let's have Aqualoo clear out the grass around it, and then we'll have our wild mushroom make her way further into the darkness. She is definitely the more adventurous of the bunch. Even though they both do share that taste for adventure, she's the one who wants to push the boundaries. And she's also spreading herself dangerously close to these jungle ports. So I wonder if she's going to be the first creature to discover those. It makes sense too, since she is a little wild mushroom, she would probably thrive in the jungles. But I think we're ready to skip the turn now. So let's go over to our final baby between Anaressi and Devon. Devon's only child, who unfortunately, he won't even get the chance to get to know. But she does have the antlers? Oh my gosh. Actually, no pattern. Completely blank. It makes her look an awful lot like her mother, especially with that digging paw. But those antlers are something else. Oh, she has like a tiny little deer? She looks like a twig with that lean body of hers. Like a little plant sprouting straight out of the ground. I wonder why Takir wasn't too interested in painting her though. He certainly had a lot of choices. He had these stripes and the mask inside Devon's genetics. Of course, we still had the dots sitting inside Anaressi's. So that is awfully strange. I wonder what her sister is going to tell her when she starts to get curious about her heritage. When she starts to wonder why she's the only creature in our entire tribe who doesn't share any of those beautiful patterns. With Vankir so sour toward our tribe too, it almost makes me wonder if he stifled this baby's markings. Maybe rub some mud all over Takir's hard work so nothing would show through at all. Well, either way, the next name on my list is Litzy. So welcome to our tribe, little one. I'm sure you're going to make for some interesting stories. You've certainly had an interesting birth for sure. I guess we'll bring Kimmy Lynn over here to pick up these berries, since it's all that's really around here right now. And you should probably pack up that nest too. I'm sure somebody else could use it. Did I hear somebody stealing your berries? Oh, Odin, you must be distracted by that beautiful creature in the distance. Let's bring Ramiko straight over to your side, as Kaz jumps in to take a look at his paint situation. Oh, I'm sure he would be furious. He'll land a good swipe on the bunny, and then Odin, being the great scout and hunter that he is, will go ahead and land the final blow. He could maybe offer up some of that extra food to Ramiko, who I'm sure is feeling quite hungry after that long journey through the water. So maybe we'll have her step her toes into the tribe's camp. Did I see something happen over here too? Oh yes, I did. Kaz, you better stand guard on all of your berries. I think Hare is still slacking. He's probably just embarrassed because he couldn't take care of the bunny on the last turn, so jump on over here. Oh, they're all skittering away from you. Geez, maybe your little brother was right. Maybe you are losing your touch. Well, let's have him try again with his initial plan and jump on into the tall grasses. Yes, and that was just enough to confuse the bunny, so he didn't know you were on the shores anymore. Well, at least you have a little bit of food to pick up on the next turn, but I'm sure that's not going to satisfy him. He's going to want to take even more bunnies back to his tribe before he's truly ready to return. So let's have Odin skip his way over here. And I wonder if maybe you two could use this old nest that used to be Anna's home. You two seem awfully smitten with each other already, and there's some perfect berries there for painting too. I wonder if part of the reason why our creatures are so amazed with her is because it actually looks like her fur is completely dyed by the berries. They did find her swimming around in the waves, and the berry juice never washed off. Or at least what they assume would be the berry juice at least. So they must figure that she is one of Takir's favorites. So if we scoot around over here, maybe on the next turn, as she shelters the bunnies, oh my goodness, little one. I wonder if she's going to sneak some of the paints to Takir. They're gonna have to keep an eye on her. Well, Fawn, maybe you could find a different berry bush to pick from. There are plenty out here after all. We'll scoot you on over here so you can grab those berries for your future nieces and nephews. Now, have you two found anybody out here yet? Let's have you sniff around and listen to. It seems like all you two are going to come across are the moles, and there are plenty of little molehills out here. Well, Aqualoo, go ahead and expand the territory yet again, as we have Adrian creep her way even deeper, following the interesting sounds of the moles, I guess, or right down the stream even. She could probably wrap her way around this waterfall here, as long as she is mindful of the palm trees, and dip her toes back into the ocean that her mother loves so much. I feel like these two little mushrooms always did wish that they could be a little bit more like their mother, and maybe dive into the oceans without fear like she could. But Kimmy Lynn is putting all of those dreams aside for now, because she knows that she has a brand new little baby to watch after. If no one else takes care of Litzy, then she's likely to get swept away by some danger. So I think we're ready to skip the turn again. Let's go ahead and zoom out and maybe watch over here just in case. There is so much darkness around our wild mushrooms. I would imagine that there is quite the potential for some dangers to spawn here. But so far, you guys have been pretty lucky. Maybe it is the presence of all of those moles that's helping. Our guardian moles watching out for our tribe. Oh my gosh. Oh, a wanderer who actually does not have the derp snout. Oh my goodness, Fawn. And he's young too, so I'm sure you would probably rush in first, just to see who's lurking around. You know, this almost looks like a copy of Tavan. I mean, aside from the missing derp snout, he has the mask, and a very similar color scheme too, and of course that fishing tail. Oh, isn't that interesting? He also has the short-sighted eyes like so many other creatures in our tribe, but he is carrying two completely different snouts, so there is no question about it. Go ahead and invite this little one to our tribe. Oh, Rovan. I wonder if you are actually Tavan reincarnated, and if he's not, then he simply must be part of his family. I can't see that there isn't some sort of connection between the two. Now let's see, we'll have to change your gem over to the blue color, just like your mother, so you can match your big sister too. Let's have Kimmy Lynn go ahead and grab the last of those berries, and then I think we're going to have to start scooting you down the shore. Of course, we can't have Kimmy Lynn get too far away, and she's probably very, very concerned that something's going to try to munch on her little sister from the ocean. She's so tiny. I mean, if a leech found her, she's probably terrified that her little sister would just wither away. So let's have her gently nudge Litzy up to the top of this cliffside. That way she's going to be safely tucked away from the dangers of the tide pools. I am so happy that we found this baby though. I wonder if Takir brought him to us because he was feeling a little bit bad about not giving that previous baby any markings. Or maybe, I wonder if these are even the markings that he meant to give to Litzy. But since Van Kier ruined his painting, he had to start again on somebody new. It's kind of funny too because he even has that one no-pod just like Takir. So I think you're going to be pretty special, little one. We'll have to make sure that we keep you very close to our tribe. So if we move Ramiko into the nest right here, she should be able to pick up these delicious berries, of course. But then maybe we could move Odin to her side, and we can set up their mutation menus. So Odin has rolled a 1 and a 22, which is the chestnut brown fur, and the huge pattern as well. Nice big spots on their babies, I guess. And Ramiko has rolled a 10 and a 29. So those dots, unfortunately, which really isn't going to change much. And the pattern shape B as well. Actually, which pattern shape does she have right now? She has pattern shape A, which gives her those very round dots. That's why she looks like a little bubblegum princess. And Odin has pattern shape D, which gives it a more of a hexagon sort of shape. I think that's what most of his family has. So I guess pattern shape B might shake things up a little bit. Yeah, even Kimmy Lynn has C. Does nobody have B? Ooh, interesting. So B is actually going to be completely new? Yeah, not a single one of our dotted creatures has pattern shape B, so fingers crossed we'll see that on her babies. So go ahead and breed with Odin, and hopefully you two can have some healthy babies together, because I know there are quite a few flaws that we'll have to keep an eye on Ramiko for. That's all part of the challenge though, and to be honest, it's kind of a refreshing way to play. We always work so hard to breed out those flaws that we don't often have to work around things like this. So it's even more important than ever to find those healthy pairings for our tribe. Now Hare, you can finally go ahead and scoop up all of this delicious meat. And it looks like you've done a pretty good job of scaring off the bunnies, because I don't see any more lurking around these parts to steal your food. So maybe we'll have him tiptoe his way back onto the shore, searching desperately for some more bunnies to snack up. But all he's really finding are the moles out here. Granted, I don't think he would discriminate between bunnies and moles. Anything to prove his brother wrong is worth it in his eyes. And speaking of Kaz, I think he's probably collected enough of these paints by now. He's even worn off all of that poison that was affecting him before, so it might be time for him to think about munching on this healing fruit again. I guess we'll have him hop on over here, which will scare away our guardian mole in a moment, but maybe that'll allow the healing fruit to grow back on the next turn. Now Odin, I know you're going to want to stay right next to this nest to see your baby, but maybe you should scoot on over this way to help clear out the grasses. We might even have Rovan do the same. In fact, why don't we have him uncover this rock right next to the nursery? That would be a pretty good place for some of our creatures to paint too. Paint their offerings to Takir. Now, last but not least, as always, let's go back here to our traveling group. You guys are so isolated out here, and poor Aqualoo is getting even farther away. We can't leave her all on our own, so let's have her jump up here so she can try to follow her friend. Oh, there's even another permanent nest? Interesting. Yeah, it really seems like somebody must be living out here, or at least somebody used to. I wonder what sort of tribe it must have been. Do you think maybe they've all escaped out to the islands out here, or did they move on to the jungles? Well, I guess Aqualoo and our wild mushroom are going to be uncovering that mystery. Maybe they'll find some more clues on the next turn. So let's zoom on in and see what the first baby of our bubblegum princess is going to look like. Hopefully with some beautiful patterns. Oh my gosh, and no derp snout? Oh, how lucky is it that, you guys? Oh, I figured it would be so hard to pull those extra chains out of their inactive traits, but we're finally seeing brand new snouts in our tribe again. Oh, thank goodness. And she does actually have those tiny little pink markings on her. That is adorable. It is pattern shape D, so the mystery of pattern B has yet to be solved. But it looks like her mother's candy influence is living in her still. The next name on my list is Navi, so welcome to our tribe, little one. I'm sure that you're going to have quite a bit of fun playing around with Rovan too. Maybe you two could even paint the rocks together. So, should we have them have another baby right off the bat? I mean, I guess now would probably be the best time. I think they're guaranteed to have good eyesight too, despite the short-sighted gene in their inactive traits. So this would really help out our tribe in the long run, because that's less creatures who can't see as far. Less creatures who might get lost if they stray away from our tribe. We might even have her build her next nest right next to this very stone. We could move Rovan over here, and then we should be able to breed them again, if their fertility doesn't get in the way. How did she fare with the fertility, actually? Thank goodness it looks like Navi doesn't have the infertile gene. We don't want too much of that spreading in our tribe, so we're going to have to keep a very close eye on it. Still no healing fruit for you, Kaz? That's a little bit unfortunate. He still has quite a bit of his life left though, so I'm sure this will grow back before he ends up passing. So maybe he's just feeling far too overwhelmed by his creative desire to waste time waiting for the healing fruits. We'll have him jump right over here, so maybe he could paint a little mural for the babies. Just a little offering to the great goddess Ramiko, since he still sees her as some sort of mythical being. We could scoot him on over here, so he'll be able to pick up some of this grass for paintbrushes. And so we can light up some of those permanent nests in the distance too. Oh my gosh. Oh, and all the bunnies. Oh my goodness, Hera, looks like they may have all run off this way. No wonder you're not finding any. Well, there is a little bunny over here stealing these berries again. I think you should be able to pick it up. Oh, you scared it. Those big feet of yours, Hera. You've got to learn to be a little bit more delicate. Well, with one more bunny in his pocket, I think he would finally be satisfied enough to bring that back to his younger brother. But to be honest, with all of the work that he's doing right now, he's probably not even going to care anymore. He's probably completely forgotten about the entire feud. You better pick up these berries though, Fawn, because that bunny is definitely eyeing them up. Or maybe he's playing with Rofan's fishing tail. You know, the fishing tail does look quite similar to what the bunnies have in this game. I wonder if he's found himself a little bit distracted. Almost like a cat chasing after string or something. Now poor Fawn, it looks like she's on the last of her days too. But she knows that her son, despite how reckless he can be, is definitely going to be able to keep up the tribe's ways with his paintings. Hopefully he'll find a good student to pass all of that down to, and it might even end up being Rovan. Even though they're not related by blood, it's quite clear that there's some big connection between him and Takir, so I suppose he would probably be the best one for him to teach. Now, where are we going to start bringing your little sister, Kimmy-Lyn? She does have the digging paws, so I suppose we could always follow the roots. Oh, isn't it even more fitting that she looks like a little twig? I mean, Vankir is trying his hardest to get some influence over this tribe, so I think that Litzy might just be the one. So as Kimmy-Lyn tries to lure her toward the tide pools, she's going to change directions straight into the grasses. We'll scoot her on back, maybe weaving her way toward the berry bush over here, because it looks like there are actually quite a few berries for you guys to pick up. Scaring away the moles in the process, those guardian moles always watching after our most precious resources. But that is going to keep you guys fed for quite some time. Now I did see that something was stealing our berries back here. We're far too far away to see what it might be, but I wonder if maybe that could be a wanderer, or if it's just going to be another one of the bunnies. Whenever I see those berries getting stolen, I do feel rather suspicious, so we'll just have to go investigate if we have some extra time. And yet another permanent nest, Aqualoo? How many of these are you going to find? It's almost like she's the best at sniffing out the permanent nests, while Adrian just prefers to go wherever the wild wind takes her. Let's have Aqualoo jump her way down here somewhere. Or maybe straight over to the nest instead. I don't want any of our creatures to settle down beneath the coconut tree, but we also don't want them to get trapped in those tougher tides. Well, at least you managed to find some fish out here. It's not super useful, since she can't scoop them up, but look at this. She actually found another healing fruit. Yeah, there has to be somebody living around here. This is too good of a base to just leave it behind. I mean, I'm sure even the lingering remnants of their family, even if they did decide to move, would have stayed behind here just for all of these resources. Maybe we should have them travel toward one of these safe havens? The oak tree might just be their permanent home. That might even be a good place for them to meet up with their family again. We could have our main tribe just carve a pathway straight on down the stream, and we can all regroup right here together. That'll give us access to quite a few of the ports too, for when we're ready to choose our next lone wolf. So one last time, let's go ahead and skip the day, and we'll see if Ramiko's second baby is going to be just as lucky as her first. Oh my goodness! A perfect combination of both parents. The bubblegum pink fur and those dark muddy spots. Well, that's one pack of gum I don't think I would be chewing anytime soon. But I suppose he would make for a good chocolate-covered strawberry. Well, the next name on my list is Kovu, which is actually quite similar to what the game just gave him. So welcome to our tribe, little one. I just realized that we don't have a special color for this family. And I mean, the perfect color would be the bubblegum pink. I don't know, should we swap around the colors of their gems then? I'd hate to change it now since Hare and his brother have been wearing those pink gems for so long, but pink would definitely make sense for Ramiko. Maybe we could even play around with some combinations. Pink on both of the sides, and then a blue gem right in the middle to represent those beautiful blue eyes of hers. I think that would look pretty nice on their babies. We'll go ahead and give them that combination. So now, with Rovan all grown up, he'll be ready to perform his duty as Takir's true champion, a warrior against Vankir and all of the artwork that he's destroyed. Maybe in the next episode, Litzy will even cross paths with him, and we'll see if he can't paint the markings on her that she deserves since birth. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!